Hello everyone, my name is Jesse and welcome to a Q&A video. So a couple days ago I asked you guys to ask me questions. I did this because as the channel I've noticed has been growing pretty fast, I'm thinking this is a good way to get to know me and just build the community. We can talk Bakugan, we can talk hobbies and all that stuff. So I'm going to be going through some questions you guys asked and yeah, hopefully we can make a couple more videos on this. If you guys have any more questions you'd like to ask, use the comment section of this video to ask them, and we'll just keep it going until we've answered every question. So yeah, if you have another question, drop it down below. Alright, we're going to get started. We're going to go in order of just how I've seen them asked. So first up we have Weber, who asks, how do you feel seeing as how big the community for Bakugan is and how you're slowly rising as a creator in general? So I'm going to answer this in two parts. So the first half of the question, so how do you feel seeing as how big the community for Bakugan is? The community is definitely grown. I feel like it's plateaued though, and it could be me or it could be something I'm seeing. So I started getting back into Bakugan a little over a year ago, and I felt like when I started getting back into it, the community was exploding. But recently I felt like I've noticed it plateau, and what I mean by that is you get a lot of like, I don't know, you get some new people, and you get some new people saying they want to get back into the show, but you also get these people, like, I see a lot of people just kind of looking to try and buy the same rare Bakugan continuously. Like, that's all you see them post. You see the same sellers post the same thing. So in that kind of sense, I think I've seen it plateau. Like, I don't know, there's not a lot of like new stuff happening like there was as like I was learning all my Bakugan stuff throughout the year. And that could also just be because as I was growing in my knowledge, you know, I felt like the community was growing. But I don't know, let me know y'all's thoughts on that in the comments. Do you think the community's starting to kind of plateau, or do you think it was just me growing and then I've sort of like hit a point where I feel like I've gained a lot of knowledge, so I've kind of plateaued instead of continuously learning? I don't know, it's an interesting discussion, and I could be wrong. And then how do I feel as I'm slowly rising as a content creator in general? Honestly, it feels pretty good. As someone who's pretty, you know, versed in photography and videography, it feels good to kind of see both those skills come into play. I have done YouTube channels in the past, and even if you go down to like my first videos on this channel, they're just kind of gaming videos. So kind of seeing some recognition come in, like I'm actually have a following now instead of just talking to nobody, it feels good. And not to say that, you know, as you're starting out, you will be talking to almost no one, or one person, or two people. And that's just how it is. YouTube's hard. It's something you kind of get lucky doing. And I'm very fortunate that I have gained such a following actually rather quickly. You know, I'm not someone on the top like Jet Kusa or any of the other famous guys that play Bakugan. I haven't been in the game as long. I've been in it for like, what, a year? But the fact that I have people talking to me and we're creating this kind of community is really awesome. So it feels very good. I have high hopes for the future for the channel, and I just want to see it grow, and I can't do that without you guys. So all y'all support and just interaction and stuff has been very valuable to me, and, you know, I want to keep it going. It's really awesome. Thank you guys so much. Next question. So Daario asks, favorite legacy Bakugan? He says, mine is either Pyrex Titanium or Neo Dragonoid, which I bought both last year when I restarted collecting. See, there you go again. He started collecting last year, like so did I. I think a lot of people started collecting last year. So it kind of just proves that point, maybe we have plateaued. I don't know. He says, keep up the good work on the channel. Thank you. And I love seeing the legacy content as it brings back so many memories. Yeah, that's kind of why I do it. It brings back a lot of memories for me, which I think I'll discuss a little bit later because there's a question talking about it. So favorite legacy Bakugan? Probably my Hex Viper Helios. I think that's a really sick Bakugan. It's cool to see him like expand. I think blowing him up is really cool. I just like bigger Bakugan, and I think, I don't know, he's cool. He's got a cool design. He looks really wicked. So probably my favorite legacy Bakugan. Yep. Next question. So Sapphire Sonic fan asks, who is your favorite character in the Bakugan TV series, brawler and character? And then what is your favorite season from the original show? Mine's season 1, hands down. Alright, couple things. So first off, this is gonna come as a shock to a lot of you. I've not watched the 3rd and 4th season. Haven't done it. Yep, I have a Bakugan YouTube channel, and I have not watched the last 2 seasons. Yeah, I tried to watch Gundalian Invaders. I couldn't do it. For me, a big portion of it was that you lost a lot of these fan favorite characters, and they started introducing some of these like battle gear and like more robotic, mechanized parts, and I just didn't like it. I like 2 monsters fighting each other with gate cards and ability cards. That's it. Real simple. But favorite character from the TV show, this is probably going to be kind of like stereotypical, but I have a reason for it. So my favorite character is Alice. I think in the 1st season, spoilers if you've not watched it, but you're on a Bakugan YouTube channel, so hopefully you have, I think Masquerade and Alice are different people. I don't think, they're the same person, but I think personality-wise and everything, they're very different. And the reason I chose Alice specifically is because in the 2nd season, we get to see her interact with Hydronoid instead of Masquerade and Hydronoid, it's Alice and Hydronoid. And that's probably something I feel like the series did not capitalize on, because Alice is a very, loving and good, bright, good-natured character. And then Hydronoid is this, dark Hydra beast. And that contrast between, good and bad and light and dark is really awesome. And I don't know, I felt like there was definitely more to be explored there, but you only got the one battle against Hades, which, it was good, it was cool, and it was definitely one of my favorite parts, but there could have been so much more. I think that difference was something really worth, looking into. So she's definitely my favorite character for that reason. And then favorite season from the original show, I'm gonna have to say the 1st one too. I like those monsters fighting. I haven't seen the 3rd and 4th, and the 2nd season was good, don't get me wrong. I think it improved a lot of things, but when, for instance, all these mechanized things, one of the final bosses in the show is literally just a giant mech Bakugan. They started making robotic Bakugan. I just didn't like that. It didn't feel good to me. It just felt like they were going away from it. I'm not into the mechanized stuff like that. It was just not it for me. Alright, Drybones has a couple questions here. So he asks, what's your favorite ability card or gate card? So I have a favorite gate card. I don't know it off the top of my head right now. I'll put up a picture right here on the screen so you can see it. I don't even remember the name of it, but I know the art design very well. It's cool. It's this ghosty looking figure. I really like it just because I think it would be cool to have a Bakugan that's like a ghost. We have Reaper, but having a ghost Bakugan maybe with some chains on them or something like that would be really sick. And so that's just my favorite card. I think the art design's cool. Hope that answers your question. I don't really have a favorite ability card. Some of them have cool art designs, but nothing comes off right off the top of my head. What Bakugan has the best looking toy? I think that's subjective. I think everyone has a different opinion. If I could pick 3, I'd probably do my Viper Helios. Probably the original single-headed Hydronoid. He's definitely the most unique, at least from the first couple seasons. And then probably some of the Dragos, so Cross Dragonoid's pretty unique. And then Delta. Delta's one of my favorite Drago designs, so probably those. I really like those as best looking, I guess. What are your favorite big Bakugan toys? So Deca, Maxis Bakugan, Colossus, Battlesuits, and Mechatan. The Deca Bakugan are really sick. I think they're only good though for display, and they're really cool to open because they feel powerful. But in terms of playing, you can't really do it. Maxis Bakugan are cool. I really like Maxis Dragonoid. Maxis Helios, not a big fan of. I had them both for a while, and I had them on display, and they took up way too much space. So I was like, I'm gonna sell them. I can use the money for other Bakugan, and I did. But Maxis Dragonoid is cool. I think his design is pretty well done, and the cool idea of combining Bakugan's cool. For me, it just took up too much space. But yeah, those are really cool. What are your thoughts on the Bakugan TV show? I kind of mentioned this, but I felt like as the show progressed, they got too complicated. They added too many things. So you had all these Baku Nanos, these mutant swapping parts, all the different like traps and like battle gear, it got too much, and they became too like mechanized. So as the show progressed, it got worse. Basically, it went from amazing to kind of meh. Linkmaster asks, what's your favorite series other than Bakugan? This is an awesome question because it gets me talking more than just Bakugan, for anyone who's interested. So, favorite series, I'll start with some anime I've recently watched. So, I have officially caught up on Attack on Titan. The last episode comes out this Sunday, so I'm pretty excited for that. Sword Art Online is another good one. I'm a real big fan of Elfen Lied, which is an older like series from 2006. I can talk forever about that show. It's super interesting. And then besides like the gory thriller anime, I really like some rom-coms. So the most recent one I've watched is My Dress Up Darling. Really good show. I read the manga, and then I remember like the anime being announced and then the release. It was cool just following a whole series. Super big fan of that. So that one's definitely like the most recent. Besides anime, like regular TV shows, I still watch The Walking Dead. Unfortunately, I feel obligated to. I followed it forever. Breaking Bad's another good one. I just started the new Big Mouth spin-off series called Human Resources, like literally last night. It's also very good. But a lot of these you probably shouldn't watch if you're like a younger kid. So if you guys are into reading or anything like that, I recently read a book called The Supermarket by Bobby Hall. If you don't know who Bobby Hall is, you also might know him by the name Logic. He's the rapper. He wrote a book called The Supermarket. It's a really good psychological thriller. I highly recommend it. Next question, Frost asks, what's your least favorite Bakugan design, and what's your least favorite part of Bakugan in general? So least favorite Bakugan design, I really don't like Bakugan like Griffin, Ravenoid, Falconeer, just like ones where like the kind of ball part, just like the shell of it pops open and there's just not much to it. I don't like that. It's too simplistic. I think it's kind of like almost like a waste because they're all very similar. And I also don't like Bakugan who are too complicated. So like this Rise Dragoan, which I have right here, I think trying to close them is way too complicated. So in terms of like that, there's a very niche balance of good and bad, and I think a lot of Bakutech are too complicated, but a lot of these earlier Bakugan are way too simplistic. And then least favorite part of Bakugan in general, the mech parts. I don't like all the robotic pieces and mechanized parts. I've mentioned that. Baku Twins asks, what got me into Bakugan? And this kind of also goes into Mirror Kirby's question, do you like Pokemon? So what originally got me into Bakugan as a kid was Pokemon. I grew up on Pokemon. I love Pokemon. I've played pretty much all of them up until after X and Y. After X and Y, I kind of fell off because it started getting repetitive. But then when the brilliant Pearl and Diamond remakes came out, I bought Pearl because Pearl was my first Pokemon game. So I grew up on Pokemon. I love Pokemon. But that's kind of what got me into Bakugan, is it was sort of similar. So as a kid, I collected them. I remember having like a reverse Pyrus Delta Dragonoid, a Pearl Aqua Cyranoid, a Chaos Wyvern, and a bunch of others, but those are the ones I remember the most. So what happened recently is, I was a kid, eventually I grew out of it, I found different hobbies or whatever, and I got into like some other stuff, and so they kind of just got lost. I don't even know where they're at. But what got me into it recently was I was visiting some family. We were all like sitting on the couch, and I was on TikTok, and I think I saw like a video of some guy who was like, does anyone remember Bakugan? And he was just kind of playing with his Bakugan or like showing him off, and it was just some like random Bakugan I don't even remember. But I was like, yeah, I remember that. I wonder, like, it'd be cool to just to have like a Pyrus Dragonoid. So I went on eBay and looked at them, and I was expecting like, maybe $5, $8 or something like that. But no, they were like 25 to 30, and I was like, whoa, this is kind of crazy. There's a collector's whole community here. And so I dug into it and got deeper into it, and that's kind of how it started, is I just wanted a Drago for nostalgic purposes. But I ended up buying a Drago, and I got a DS exclusive White Naga because it's like collector's limited edition or whatever. But yeah, that started it, and then it kind of spiraled out of control. I watched the first season again and wanted all the characters. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. If you did, feel free to leave a like, drop a comment, and of course, subscribe for more awesome content. If you want to check out any of my Bakugan I'm selling, there are links below in the description. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.